So you're thinking about hiring a Smalltalk developer.
Right.
That's great. I bet you have a ton of questions about
Yeah.
where to even begin.
Uh-huh.
It's not exactly easy to find experienced Smalltalk developers.
No, it's a very niche
Yeah,
skill set.
but that's why we're here today.
Yeah.
This deep dive is going to make your search so much easier.
Absolutely.
And to make it even easier,
Yeah.
head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try their 5 questions tool.
Great resource.
You'll get personalized recommendations right away for finding the perfect developer.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
let's get down to basics.
Sure.
What is Smalltalk? And how is it different from other languages,
Okay.
like Java or Python?
So Smalltalk is a language that emphasizes
Mm-hmm.
pure object-oriented principles.
Okay, so
Everything is an object.
object everywhere.
Objects everywhere.
Okay.
And that's very different from languages like Java or Python.
Okay, can you break that down a
Yeah.
bit more?
Yeah.
I think when a lot of people hear object-oriented, they kind of
Yeah.
tune out.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean
Right.
for a developer?
So think about it this way.
Mm.
If you are building a car,
Okay.
each part of that car,
Mm.
the engine, the wheels, the door, those are all objects, right?
Right.
And each one has its own properties and behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So a Smalltalk developer is a master at designing and connecting these objects together
Okay.
to create these complex systems.
I see. So how does that objects everywhere approach benefit me?
Well, one thing it allows for is something called live coding, where you can change the code and see the results immediately.
Wow.
And this is great for rapid prototyping and iterative development.
Okay.
So your team can move faster and respond to changes much quicker.
Now, Smalltalk has been around for a while.
Yeah, it
Does
has.
that mean it's only used for these legacy systems that I hear about?
So it is true that a lot of legacy systems, especially in finance and healthcare,
Okay.
are built using Smalltalk.
Okay.
But it's not limited to just maintaining the past.
Okay.
Smalltalk is also very powerful for new projects,
Okay.
especially those that require complex modeling or simulation.
So it's not just about fixing old stuff.
No.
It's about building
Yeah,
cutting-edge new stuff.
absolutely. And it integrates surprisingly well with modern technologies.
Really?
Like APIs, cloud platforms.
Interesting.
Yeah, you can build bridges between those worlds using Smalltalk.
So where do I even begin looking for these Smalltalk developers, and how do I know
Yeah.
that they actually know what they're doing?
Well, this is where a resource like theperfectdeveloper.com can be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
They specialize in matching companies with highly skilled developers, including ones with deep Smalltalk expertise.
All right. So let's say I find a few candidates. How do I know if they're the real deal? What am I looking for beyond just knowing the language?
So first and foremost,
Yeah.
you want to see evidence of real-world experience.
Okay.
Look at their portfolio. Have they worked on projects similar to yours? Don't be afraid to ask for references and talk to their previous clients.
So really dig deep,
Absolutely.
not just take their word for it.
Right.
What else?
Well, Smalltalk can be tricky, especially when dealing with legacy systems.
Right.
So you need somebody who's not only technically skilled,
Mm-hmm.
but also a fantastic problem solver.
Okay.
Someone who can think on their feet and adapt to challenges.
So technical skills are important.
Yeah.
But so is that ability to think critically and solve problems?
Yeah.
What about communication?
Oh, that's key.
That seems pretty important when talking about these.
Huge systems. Absolutely. You need someone who can explain technical concepts clearly
Mm-hmm.
to other developers and to non-technical folks.
Right.
Clear communication is key to successful collaboration and project management.
Okay, so we've got experience, problem solving, and communication.
Mm-hmm.
All essential skills.
Right.
But let's be realistic. Salary is a big factor here.
Of course.
What kind of numbers are we looking at for Smalltalk developers?
It's true that salary expectations for Smalltalk developers
Yeah.
can be a bit different
Right.
than developers who specialize in more common languages.
Different in what way?
So because the skill set is more specialized, it often comes with a higher price tag,
Okay.
especially if you're looking for somebody with extensive experience.
That makes sense. Can you give me some actual numbers to work with, though?
Of course. For a full-time, experienced Smalltalk developer in the U.S., you're likely looking at a salary range of $90,000 to $130,000 per year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a pretty
Yeah.
big range.
That is a big range.
In Europe, it's a bit lower,
Okay.
maybe around $60,000 to $90,000 per year.
Okay.
And in Asia, the range can be even wider,
Okay.
from $20,000 to $50,000 annually.
So location definitely plays a role
Yeah,
in salary expectations.
absolutely.
What about freelancers?
Right.
I imagine their rates can vary quite a bit.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If you're going the freelance route, you're likely looking at hourly rates
Mm-hmm.
somewhere between $50 and $150,
Okay.
depending on their level of expertise
Right.
and the complexity of the project.
So that's a pretty wide range.
Yeah.
Any tips on how to determine a fair rate for a freelancer?
Well, theperfectdeveloper.com can be a great resource for this.
Okay.
They have data on current market rates
Mm-hmm.
and can help you benchmark freelance rates based on specific skills and experience levels.
That's really helpful to know.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the different ways to actually hire
Right.
a Smalltalk developer.
Okay.
We've got full-time,
Yeah.
part-time, in-house, outsourcing,
Mm-hmm.
so many options.
So many.
Any advice on how to choose the right model?
It really boils down to your specific needs
Okay.
and what makes the most sense for your project and your budget.
Okay.
Full-time is a good option if you need someone dedicated
Right.
and you have ongoing work.
Okay.
Part-time can be more flexible
Right.
if you have a tighter budget.
Or if your needs are more sporadic.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What about in-house versus outsourcing? What are the key considerations there?
So if you bring someone in-house,
Okay.
you'll have more direct control and collaboration, but it can also be more expensive.
Right.
Outsourcing can be more cost-effective,
Okay.
but you might have less direct oversight.
Right.
It really depends on your comfort level
Yeah.
and the specific requirements of the project.
This is all great information, but I have to admit,
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel a bit overwhelmed.
I understand. It's a lot to process.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why a resource like theperfectdeveloper.com can be such a lifesaver.
Okay.
They can help you navigate all of these decisions and find the perfect candidate.
Okay.
Whether you're looking for someone full-time, part-time, in-house, or even if you want to outsource the entire project.
Okay. That definitely eases my mind a bit.
Good.
So we've covered a lot of ground
We have.
about the whats and whys of hiring Smalltalk developers.
But I'm sure our listeners still have some burning questions.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's jump into some of those frequently asked questions
Okay.
that we know are on your mind.
All right.
Should I be focusing on finding someone with tons of experience? Or,
That's a good question.
yeah.
It depends on what you need them to do.
Okay.
If you're dealing with a legacy system,
Mm-hmm.
experience is going to be your best friend.
Okay.
You really want someone who already understands the ins and outs of those older code bases.
To avoid the headaches.
Yeah, they'll save you a lot of headaches down the road.
So for those legacy systems,
Yeah.
experience trumps everything else.
Pretty much.
Okay.
But if you're planning to integrate Smalltalk with newer technologies,
Right.
or you think you might transition to a different platform in the future,
Okay.
then adaptability becomes much more important.
So it really comes down to matching the developer's strengths
Right.
with the specific goals of the project.
Exactly.
Another question I have is how long will it actually take
Yeah,
to get a Smalltalk developer up to speed
that's a good one.
and contributing to my project?
Yeah, it really depends on the complexity of your project.
Okay.
For simpler projects,
Yeah.
you might be able to onboard them in a week or two.
Okay.
But for those massive legacy systems,
Right.
it could take a month or two,
Wow.
or even longer, to
Wow.
really get them fully integrated.
So onboarding time is definitely something to factor in.
Yeah.
One more question.
Okay.
Since Smalltalk isn't as widely used
Right.
as some other languages,
Mm-hmm.
are there any good training resources out there?
There are definitely resources available.
Like what?
You're not going to find Smalltalk for Dummies at your local bookstore,
Okay.
but there are tons of online courses and tutorials,
Oh, okay.
and the online Smalltalk community is incredibly active and supportive.
Really?
Oh yeah, they have forums, mailing lists,
Wow.
all sorts of ways to connect with other developers and get help.
So even though it's a niche language,
Yeah,
there's still a strong community
there is.
and plenty of ways to learn and grow.
Absolutely.
This has been so helpful. I feel much more equipped to tackle this hiring process.
Good. I'm glad.
Any final words of wisdom before we wrap things up?
Honestly, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Okay.
If you're feeling overwhelmed or unsure where to turn,
Yeah.
resources like theperfectdeveloper.com can guide you through every step of the process.
Okay.
Their team has the knowledge and the network to connect you with the perfect Smalltalk developer.
Awesome. And don't forget their 5 questions tool.
Oh yeah, great tool.
That can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
So go out there, try those 5 questions, and start building something amazing. Until next time, happy coding.